Hey, welcome back everybody. Tanner Garcia here today, coming to you with a short and sweet, simple video slash rant. I kind of got to get it off my chest a little bit. If you don't want to hear me bitch, go ahead and click off right now. But before you do, make sure you hit the like button. All right. So I'm going to be talking about 5 things that kind of bother me as an up and coming photographer. So my very first video on my channel, I talk about how this is kind of my journey to become a professional photographer, meaning that I don't make a full-time living off of shooting at the moment. And this is something that I'm working really hard towards achieving this year. Being that I've been shooting for right over 3 years and I have a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of studying, a lot of practice put into it, I know I'm not the best, but I know I have grown exponentially since I first started. The first thing I'm going to talk about is cameras are becoming exceedingly more affordable and exponentially better than what they have been in the past 5 years and 10 years. So almost anybody can go out and grab something nice, something new, and do some really amazing things with it. With that being said, just because you buy a higher end camera does not make you a photographer. I've seen some posts here on Facebook, or posts that people have sent me from people locally, that they go out and spend $200 on a Nikon point and shoot and casually go, I think I'll start a photography business. And then the next day they're posting, hit me up for all of your photography needs. Price is starting at $25. I don't know about you, but I can't imagine, I haven't done the math, how many mini sessions or photography events I would have to do at $25 an hour to make enough money to live off of. That is absolutely ridiculous. So, first point, having a camera does not make you a photographer. All right, looking at my list right here so I can stay on track. I want to keep this short and sweet. Second, number 2, having an attractive woman or man in your photo, posing, modeling, whatever it is that you're doing, having a hot person does not make a crappy photo not crappy. A crappy photo is a crappy photo. I don't care who's in it or what's in it. There is a huge difference between having a point and shoot camera, going out with your friends and snapping shots for memories, and actually taking the time to set up a proper photo shoot to tell a story or be creative or whatever the case may be. Mind you, street photography, landscape photography, all that's different, but I'm pretty sure that they all have some type of setup stage, some type of process or procedure that you might follow to get yourself ready to do it, as opposed to just picking up your phone and snapping a shot. And some of the stuff that I see people posting from their photography pages looks like they're shooting with a potato, and it's absolutely disgusting. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get crap for this, and I understand that art is subjective. For instance, I have a really hard time shooting at a Dutch angle and making things look right, so I always try and stay symmetrical. But then I look at other people's work, like Willem Verbeek, for instance. I was watching one of his videos the other day, and I noticed that he was shooting windows off-center at an angle, and I couldn't help but love the image, even though it's completely different from what I do. So again, I understand that art is subjective, but you have to understand your camera, you have to understand your gear and how it works in order for you to shoot properly. And I know using the word properly means that there's a right and a wrong way, but if you're trying to market yourself the way that I'm trying to market myself, it makes a world of difference. Next one, lighting. OMG, if this is not a pet peeve. It took me about a year or so before I got my first light, and I was trying to figure out why some people's photos look so much better than mine, how they got this depth, how they got the person to stand out, the subject to stand out from the background more so than just bokeh. and it's lighting. Photography, photograph literally means drawing with light drawing, however you want to put it, but it literally means taking light and making an image. And if you don't understand the fundamentals, and all the pictures that you're taking are blown out, or all the pictures that you're taking are flat, it's gonna suck. You have to understand those basics before you go and break those rules to accomplish a certain look. For instance, there's a couple of photos that I took recently of my friend Alex, and I purposely overexposed and kind of washed out the background a little bit, but that was intentional and going for the look that I was trying to achieve with this photograph, or with this mini set of photos at that particular time. But I wouldn't have gotten that look that I was specifically going for if I didn't already understand my gear and lighting. So take the time to learn, and I understand we have to go out and shoot, and I'm so grateful to everybody that has crossed my path with me, that has worked with me. Without everybody pretty much on my Instagram that has been there, especially at the beginning, that took time out of their day for me to work on my craft, I wouldn't be able to be at the level that I'm at right now. Though I'm not at the level where I want to be, I know I'm on my way because of all the practice that I had. So understand your light. Whether you have $100 light, a $500 light, or $1,000 light, or $55 billion light, it doesn't matter. You need to understand how it works, and you need to understand how to shape it, how to diffuse it, how to soften it, how to harden it, how to control it so that you're not spilling light everywhere and lighting up trees in the background and lighting up the ground on the floor and lighting everything up all around you, just making the picture look awful compared to what it would have been had you not used the flash. That's kind of a segue into the next point of taking a lot of bad photos and then posting all those bad photos in various groups that you might be in, and calling that and saying that it's an art share. Again, I understand that art is subjective, and I'll probably get crap for saying this, but stop posting 15, 20, 40, 80 pictures of the same photo shoot. Post 3, post 5, pick the absolute best ones and work hard on those and make those really great. So when somebody sees them, like, oh man, I love that set that you shot, not, oh yeah, I didn't even finish looking at all the pictures that you took. I've seen a lot of good looking people that I've shot with, or that I've seen shot by some photographers, look not their very best in other shoots because the lighting was just horrible. So that's bad enough. So when you post 20, 30, 40 of them at a time in these Facebook groups or on your wall, when you post shot after shot after shot on Instagram, and you have 27 shots in a row of the same shoot, it gets very old very fast for people that are watching, or people that are looking, or people that are scrolling through their feed. And it gets to the point where we start to associate bad photos with somebody's name or with somebody's brand. I'm trying to brand myself. I'm trying to develop myself and my technique and my style into a business that I can survive off of, and take care of my family off of, and give myself a life that I'm working hard to achieve, doing what it is that I love. I don't want my name being associated with crap work. That's why I don't post consistently on Instagram, and that may hurt me in the long run with the algorithm and with my growth on there. But I would rather have people follow me because they like what I post, instead of the algorithm boosting me because I'm posting consistently. That Instagram is a whole nother beast that we can talk about at some other time. But my point is I try and limit my posts to work that I'm proud of. And if you start at the beginning of my Instagram to where I'm at now, I think you can see a pretty clear progression in my style and in my capabilities and my abilities to edit. If you're gonna be posting and tagging yourself as fine art, then the least you can do is work really hard to make it fine, or make it artistic, and not just some half-naked person covered in Christmas lights where the white balance is horrible and the preset that you slapped on your phone is horrible, and then you just end up with a horrible image, and it makes me want to unfollow you. So pro tip, what I started doing, and I'll give you my secret, is instead of unfriending these people that I originally started following because they followed me or whatever the case was, because I was tired of seeing their posts. I unfriend you, and then 4 or 5 days later, I'm getting a friend request from you again because I pop up in your suggested people you may know, and then be like, oh, I don't know how I unfollowed you. I'm sorry. Yeah, follow. And I'm trying not to be rude because you didn't ask me about your work, and I'm not gonna just flat out go and tell you that I think you're posting too much and it sucks. Instead, what I do is I unfollow, so we're still friends. I'm not gonna pop up in your suggested people that you may know, but I'm just not gonna see you anymore. And that has been a huge game changer in my sanity every day, seeing crap over and over and over again, and seeing you post 3 or 4 or 5 times in multiple groups that we might be in. Lastly, this takes me to Watermarks. If I've already seen you posting more than consistently and a lot, and every week it's like 3 new shoots and everything's just kind of crap, if I see your photo, I'm probably gonna know that it's you before anything else. Put in a watermark with a city's landmark in the image with this huge, ridiculous photography business name. It's overkill. If I'm looking at your watermark before I'm looking at the image, before I'm looking at the model, before I'm looking at the subject matter, chances are you might be doing it a little bit wrong. If you are really striving to make it in the industry the way that I am, look at the big photographers that are out there in the genre that you want to shoot and see if they're watermarking their stuff. A small type font with your name somewhat transparent to where I can still read it, but it's not the focal point of the image, fine. If you're that worried about somebody stealing your image. Me, on the other hand, I use my metadata in Lightroom to make sure I have my Instagram, my webpage, my name, my phone number, the model's name, the model's Instagram, all that data on the back side of the image, so that if my image is ever taken and it ever does become a matter for the courts, I can, 1, prove that it's my photo off the metadata, but 2, I have the raws and nobody else does because they didn't shoot the image, I did. So these absolutely horrendous, over the top watermarks, they need to go, they just need to go away, honestly, in my opinion. Take all this with a grain of salt. I just kind of wanted to get this off my chest. The more that I shoot and the more that I develop and the more professional I'm trying to make myself and the more I'm trying to achieve, the more mistakes on my side that I'm trying to correct. So if you're watching this and it kind of burns, maybe you're doing it a little bit, and you can maybe take my advice and see if it works out if you do something a little bit different, or you can tell me to go shove it up somewhere and whatever. I mean, it's my opinion and my opinion only, and obviously I'm not a professional yet, so take it as you want. But if we run it all down, a camera doesn't make you a photographer. A hot chick or a hot dude doesn't make a good photo bad. The watermarks are already too much. Tone it down a little bit. Learn how to use your lighting and slow down on how many posts. I'm not saying don't be consistent. I'm not saying don't post every day, but don't post 1,000 pictures of the same thing and wonder why nobody's wanting to engage with it anymore. Posts should be kind of a treat. I know there's some of my favorite photographers that I follow that when they post, I was like, oh, sweet. If I saw your pictures 3 times a day, every day, I'm like, this dude again, unfollow, block, whatever I got to do to just stop seeing it. If you like what I had to say, give me a like. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. That's cool too. I understand. Hopefully you guys got something from this. If not, I mean, it is what it is. I just want to kind of say it. I've been feeling it and it's been frustrating me, and now it's out there and it is what it is, man. So I will see you guys next week.